Bonjour, bonsoir, how are you today?
I'm chilling.
You're chilling?
I'm chilling.
Okay, so you're being nonchalant. You're clearly nervous, but you're being...
I'm like a little bit nervous because there's like a massive like mic in front of me. There's like cameras and there's mandem here. Like, what do I do? Oh, sorry. I can't see them.
No, we need him to behave, because this man will say the most wild stuff. All right. Hi everyone, welcome to the second episode of QMFS Interviews, and today I am joined in the Graduate Centre in Queen Mary University of London by a third-year environmental science student who is a web designer and marketer at One Stop Web, founder of his own business called 144p Media, and head of business and Formula Student. Can everybody give him a round of applause? How are you today?
I'm good. That was an amazing introduction. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
I really tried to be like, you know Nardwa?
Yeah.
I tried to be like Nardwa, Sean. Clearly they're just on another level. You guys know Nardwa, Sean Evans? No. You guys know Sean Evans, right? Oh. The Hot Wings guy. Right. I literally look at their interviews for inspiration to make sure I'm doing something right. Again, thank you for taking this last minute. I really appreciate it. And again, I know you haven't watched any episodes, but literally just relax, be yourself. Anything that you say that's too outlandish, I'll censor, and maybe it'll be a bit, we'll see what happens. But I have a bunch of questions here, and we're gonna go through them. One of the things that I didn't know until yesterday, and it's slightly embarrassing, is that you're an environmental student, science student, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought you were a business student the entire time.
I technically am, because I do a major minor course. So my major is environmental science, but then my minor is business management.
That makes so much sense. Fair enough. Because my question here is, you're an environmental science student and you're in your third year. You're about to finish your degree, correct? Right. However, looking at your resume, you display an avid interest in doing business, marketing, and web design. And again, I said I didn't know what you actually did. With this context, what was your motivation for doing environmental science for your degree? And what was your motivation taking a business management sort of route?
Yeah, so when I was in college, sixth form, I was gonna do engineering. I was thinking about it, but then I realized that I just hate maths. It's like the most abominable thing in existence. I just hate it so much. So I realized I actually do like science though, because I did physics as well, and I did environmental science for a standard subject, because I didn't do A levels. I did IB, which is where you do 6 subjects, and there's 3 standard, 3 higher. So I did higher maths, physics, econ, standard, Latin, ESS, and English. So yeah, and then what happened was I wasn't making it in maths. It was just not in my destiny. It was so bad. so I switched it for standard, and then I took something else higher. So then I realized, I like science specifically, and I really like energy and climate change, and I'm really passionate about it because my parents are really into it as well. So they're really green and really eco-friendly and stuff. So I thought, I might as well go down the route. But then I also do business, because I love watching when I was younger, I watched Wolf of Wall Street, and I thought, listen, hear me out. Listen. I thought, when I was in secondary school, I thought I was the guy, because I thought I knew everything about economics after watching one film. And then I realized, I was wrong when I got my economics test back, and I got a 4. I was like,
that's great. I mean, Wolf of Wall Street is a great movie, but the reputation it has nowadays.
It's so funny.
The reputation it has nowadays. It's because finance bros look at that movie and just that's what I want to be. But yeah, that's really funny. And so I don't want to say your passion for business spiked from Wolf of Wall Street. Is that where it
Not
spiked
really.
from?
I think my passion for business doesn't really lie in business itself. I feel like passion's quite interesting, because if you're passionate about something, it doesn't make sense, because there are parts of that thing you don't like. So let's say you like basketball. You might not like training, or you might not like exercise, but you really like the competitive aspect of it. Okay. So I feel like if you're more passionate about the competitiveness than basketball itself. So I think for me, I'm more passionate about strategy and planning. So I take that in business, and I take that in other stuff like sports or in games or in in science, stuff like that. So that's how I transfer, I think.
So you chose environmental science mainly because of the passion for science and environmental stuff, and the business stuff is okay. That makes a bunch of sense. It seems like when you graduate, you're going to go towards doing primarily business, or am I wrong about that?
It's going to be, I want to do business, but in a more like civil engineering / environmental sector, because I feel like that's like obviously the meta right now. It's popping right now. In the next few years as well, especially, like it's going to be really good. But I think the main thing is that environmental science over the past 10, 20 years as a course and as a subject has changed a lot. Because before it was very heavy on like chemistry and stuff like that, chemistry, biology, but now it's very heavy on the more actual geography stuff and like the more development stuff. So it's quite different to now.
Okay, so that's actually very insightful. In that case, where did the passion for web development come in? Because you own your own media business, correct?
So there's two things. So One Stop Web and 144p Media are two different things. So One Stop Web is my like friend's business, and we just he needed a web developer, and I didn't know how to web develop. But because like that's my boy, so I'm just gonna learn. You just gotta learn for your boy, innit? So I just learned. It's not that hard, to be honest. You can find anything on YouTube, make a website in like literally like less than 2 hours, and then you could do it once, you can do it again. So you just keep doing it, and then learning like SEO and stuff. It's a bit weird at first, especially like the keyword stuff, but you get it down. And then 144p Media, that's like a small like video editing business I started when I was in like first year summer. It was just like a passion project, but then we got a few small paying clients. Like when I say paying clients, I mean like £50. Like it was so bad, but
that's something.
Yeah, but we scaled it up a bit to the point where we started being able to like just have work consistently, and it's like currently it's on the low, but it's still there as a project that we have. So
what do you guys edit?
We mainly edited, so we started off with short form content. So for short form content, we did like reels of like, it was specifically like those, what's it called? Like coaches, reels for coaches and stuff. So like not just like sports coaches, but like motivational coaches and stuff, and like teachers and stuff like that. But we started expanding onto like more creative stuff. So people that wanted to like express themselves in like art or in music, we started doing like kind of a slightly more long form, so like 2-minute, 3-minute videos for them. And then that's kind of what we got to for that, yeah.
Fair enough. Dang, okay, so you're kind of like I guess you're kind of like a jack of all trades, science, editing, web design. That is a jack of all trades. Everybody give a round of applause for your boy. Crazy. Okay, that was very insightful. So in that case, right, so you do all of this stuff and you're head of business in QMFS on top of that. What motivated you to specifically be head of business for QMFS specifically?
Oh, okay, so this is an interesting story, guys. So it was I was in summer of first year, right before second year, and there's this man named Justin Gomez. And this man is a very special man to me because I've known him since I was in year 12. So he came to my sixth form. So he transferred from a different school to my sixth form. And then we were both in the same chemistry class. And we sat next to each other. And we both realized that we hate chemistry. So we dropped chemistry. We both dropped chemistry. And then we both split, basically. But we were still friends, basically. So what happened was we were friends in sixth form and everything. We came to the same uni because we even went to the same open day. So we came to Queen Mary open day, came to the same uni after. And then he joined Formula Student. And then when he was in his second year, when he was in his first year actually, and I was in my second year, he told me to join the social media for Formula because he knew that I did like marketing and like not web design, video editing and stuff. So he told me to join that. But then I joined and I met Dylan, who was the head of business last year. And I told him, I was like, oh, how do I join the social media? He said, oh, just join me and you'll join the social media. And I joined business. So I'm just in business now. And then he made me do like a whole like interview and everything. So like make a presentation, like a mock presentation and everything. So I just tried it. And I actually enjoyed it as well because I didn't think I'd like it. I thought, oh, let me just do social media. It's more fun. But then I actually enjoyed the business stuff. So it was basically me and him for most of last year. So it was just us two working on the presentation. And then Silverstone came around. I love Silverstone. I didn't think I'd enjoy it because I'm not actually a motorsport guy. I barely know anything about it. but the people in Formula Student specifically, they made it so nice. Like everyone was so cool. They explained everything as well. Like, oh, this is the reason we do this is because of this. It was so nice. And then I enjoyed it so much. I stayed another year, and then there was no one else left in business, so it was just default me having to become head of business. So I'm here now, I guess.
Well, fair enough. Okay, I was guessing like you didn't seem like the motorsport type. I was thinking, but you and Justin were so close, and Justin is, of course, like deep into the motorsport
massive
era.
Motorsport. Even in sixth form, he was always on motorsport 24/7.
I don't know how he does it. He's one of the few people who has like gone. He's our third episode, so you're right after him. So maybe I'll put you guys like side by side, talking about each other with the little, when you're hugging in the lab and it has those little hearts.
Cool.
I might put you guys side by side. I don't want to ask a lot about Justin because again, this is your interview.
I'm the main character, guys.
You're the main character for the next 20 minutes. But in that case, cool. That's makes a bunch of sense. So being head of business, right? And QMFS, there's obviously a bunch of challenges. What I wanted to ask are, what are the challenges that you find personally the hardest being a head of business? And what are the most enjoyable things about also being head of business as well?
I think for business specifically in Formula, it's not as challenging as the other roles, as in like engineering and other stuff like that. But the main thing is that you need to be really empathetic towards people, especially towards your own team, because a lot of the team on mine they're very varied. So we have some finance students, some environmental students, some law students. So it's really difficult to try and get them to play to their strengths, especially when some of them are really shy. And like, I'm not someone that's mega shy. So it's a bit hard for me to be empathetic towards shy people. But I think it's something you learn, like technical empathy, like empathy for people's skills, for people's talents and stuff. And like how to make them, make those specific talents bloom in your team is something that I find difficult, but it's something you develop throughout your time, basically. And I think for enjoyment, I think it's basically the same thing. I enjoy learning how to talk to people, how to find out people's talents and stuff like that, how they can express it as well. I think it goes hand in hand, basically. What you enjoy is also what you find most difficult sometimes.
Fair enough. I was gonna go back to the point of it's not as hard as engineering. I might sound like a broken record here because I might say this a bunch when I'm not talking to engineers within the series. But one of the things that, I make the joke that whenever I'm struggling with an engineering module or engineering, I'm just I should have done business. Why am I putting myself through this? I love engineering, by the way. Please hire me. I'm looking for placements.
Follow his Instagram. He's got so much stuff on his Instagram, bro.
But in that case, what was I going to say? Business has an entirely different skill set. So I was asking myself, would I rather be doing engineering, or would I rather be going to a bunch of socializing events in which I get drained a lot? Because to do business, you have to be incredibly social. And whilst I am an incredibly social person, and I do think I have those skills, I am much more tended to doing engineering as a bunch of other engineers. If you ask people in the G25 lab to be social in events, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, half of them, I can't lie, the weather app on your phone instant.
Exactly. They're gonna make one connection, and that connection is gonna be the person that they've already known for 2 years, and they're gonna call that connection. So I don't want to put business majors or people doing business down, because entirely different skill set, and you guys are just more accommodated to that as opposed to engineers. So don't say it's easier than engineering. I think that's kind of people call business.
Yeah, that's fair.
People call business degrees Mickey Mouse degrees, and I'm just you can't talk to people. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so that's great. That was a great answer to the question. Question number 4, I believe. You run a business. You're head of Formula Student for almost 2 years now, 1 year and 7 months, right? So I assume you have experience in hiring people, right? Because you're a head.
Yeah.
Right? So in fact, I've seen you interview people whilst I was working on my computer. So a question I ask you is, what separates a candidate that you'll hire as part of your team versus somebody that you'll just instantly reject and not even consider? Okay,
so I think the first thing, especially this is when it comes to business specifically, is being able to speak, right? So obviously, like lots of people, they can speak properly, they can speak well, but it's like speaking and communicating aren't the same thing. I think we all understand this, but it's about how can you put across your point to an area where they register it, and they're able to explain it in the same way you did, and make the other person feel the same way that you feel, right? So when I interviewed my deputy heads, one of them was obviously, they're both really well spoken, but I think what we decided was when they replied back to me, they were able to explain like their thought process and explain like through their thought process why they even thought it in the first place, right? And I think along with that, their like communication skills is like entwined with their brain. So I struggle with this sometimes. Like they speak and think at the same time. So they don't have to think and then speak. They speak, and as they speak, it just comes out naturally. So I think that's one of the most important things, like communication. And I think another thing would be mindset. I think mindset is also, I feel like mindset is more important than communication, because if you believe yourself that what you're saying is real or what you're saying is going to happen, it's most likely that the other person will probably believe it as well. Like it's a sort of it's not a fallacy, but it's like a fake it till you make it type of thing. But in business, that's very common. Like it's a must do thing. So yeah.
Fair enough. That was a very kind answer. I was expecting. How many people have you interviewed, out of curiosity?
Well, like in total, or just for? I think in total, I've interviewed 8 people, and then 6 of them are on the team now.
Okay, because I was maybe expecting like, oh, somebody said something like terrible or just.
The thing is, I have some members on my team that are completely. Like they know nothing, right?
You shouldn't be saying.
They know absolutely. I'm not gonna name names.
No, I'll censor it. It's fine.
They know nothing, right? They know absolutely nothing.
They're watching this right now, being like, "What the do you mean?"
They know who they are. They know who they are. But they're really, really good at everything else they do. They're able to find the information they need.
You.
They're able to present the information they have. And even better, they can learn the skill that they need to learn. That's the best bit. And obviously other people, they also have similar skills. Like they're really good at communicating and stuff. And they can do that as well. So altogether, like I feel like if you're playing on your strengths, it's fine. It's all good.
Fair enough.
Chilling.
So. No, we'll list it. I'll decide. You guys can watch the episodes and then we can see.
There's no profanity. I just said.
Oh, good. All right. Question number 6. What's your dream business startup?
Dream business startup. That's quite. Ooh. Do you mean if I had to start it up right now?
No, just your dream business. If you had unlimited resources.
Unlimited resources. But is this if I'm starting up right now or if I'm starting up in the future? Because if you think about it, like.
Let's go both.
Okay, I guess right now, if I was to have my dream business, it'd definitely be a content creation business, because I think everyone would just love to be someone who's on the internet speaking about what they're passionate about. I think that's a universal thing. But if I'm thinking about long term, I actually think, you're going to laugh at me, a waste management firm, I see the vision with a waste management firm.
Oh, you're gonna laugh at me. I care about the environment.
No, but I see the vision of like just like I go to a networking event and they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm a waste management firm owner, and they're like, cool. That's it. That's my whole.
No, but that's such an important thing. That's not something to laugh about. I think that's actually.
I feel like it's just that idea of like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I own like a tech startup and I do AI this and I'm just like, I handle bins.
Yeah, but most people who own tech startups are unlikable.
True.
Like, you get what I mean? Like,
we're not naming names though. We're not naming names.
I mean, what's it called? I mean, again, if you name names, I'll censor them out.
I ain't naming names.
You naming names? I name dropped somebody in Formula Student in my first interview who I thought was, and like, these guys all looked at me just like, bro,
Did you censor it?
I'm gonna censor it. It's still being edited right now. But yeah, no, I'm not putting that in.
Can you say it again, but then censor it for this one as well?
No. All the things you do, it's a lot. I'm gonna just spell them out again for the people: web designer, marketer, business owner, head of business as well. Yeah, I look at your socials and you seem to be having a lot of fun with the free time that you have. You play volleyball, a bunch of video games, hang out with friends. Within the series, you're going to see a pattern of people just you're seeing people just struggling with work-life balance. Me personally, I struggle with work-life balance. I don't really do a lot apart from uni and work. So in that case, I wanted to ask, what's your relationship with work-life balance, and how do you manage to balance all the stuff you're doing whilst having a very fun social life?
That's a good question. I think for me, if I think about it like a jar, right? Obviously, I think this is how my parents taught me it. So they tell me like I have a jar, and like the first thing you should put is things that are important to you. So for me, what's important is like my family, my friends, and then let's say there's like one thing, and then there's like little gaps in the jar. So how do you feel? What's the next like most important thing? Okay, next important thing for me is my like stuff that I enjoy, like so like volleyball, sport, like games, right? Even Formula Student would be part of that in my opinion. I put that in there. And then there's even more gaps, and that's where I put like the more, I don't enjoy it as much, but it's sort of obligatory for me to do it. So like work and like school, uni, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it kind of all just fits in. Because I feel like if you try and shove things in that you don't like in certain spots and try and like fit things around like other things, it doesn't really work out. So I feel like for me, what I do is let's say I have a week, I map out my week. First, what am I going to do that I enjoy? Okay, now how do I fit in the stuff that I need to do between it, right? And then even through that, I think it's important to realize that if you're doing some sort of deep work, there are some moments of that deep work that impact the progress more than others. So for example, if you're studying like, let's say like 4 hours a day, right? That's not too crazy. That's not too like bad, right? It's pretty normal. So there's a part of that 4 hours where you're in the zone, like you're in it, right? So then why don't you just like have that as your main thing? Because that's where you get like 80%, 90% of your work done. So instead of having like the 4 hour slot, have maybe the 1 hour or 1.5 hour slot. That's like where you're like in the zone. You get 80% of your work done. So now you have 3 hours, 2.5 hours extra free. That's kind of how I think about it.
That's fair. I've never heard somebody doing like, let me try and frame what I would enjoy and then fit the stuff around. I've never heard that before, and I followed a bunch of productivity.
It's because my grandma said, play first and work later. So I
play first and work later. Fair enough. I grew up with Nigerian parents who wanted me to do medicine.
Same.
So
my mom wants me to be a doctor so bad, and when I told her I didn't want to be a doctor, she told my grandma called me trying to convince me to be a doctor. But then my grandma doesn't know I didn't take biology, so I can't even be a doctor.
It's not even that. I don't think your grandma knows how bad doctors in the UK
it's not the same. Yeah, it's not worth it.
I was going to do biochemistry, and then I was going to move into medicine. Until I actually read about the lives of doctors, and you know, it's peak. We love you, seriously. Fund the NHS. Anyway, what's it called? I think that's all the serious questions. Okay. Now we have the fun questions. Now, I'm gonna say this one, right?
Okay.
And when I say this one, I want you to behave.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm zen. I'm chill.
For the others, go crazy. But for this one, because we don't want nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
There's people downstairs. They might hear you too. You have 24 hours to make $10,000. What are you doing?
24 hours to make $10,000.
Behave.
Bro, if I did that, I wouldn't even be here. Like, ideally...
You have to. Like,
if I have to, I think the first thing... First thing I'd do is I'd find out what people need right now, and then I find out who needs it. I think that's how I go about it. Like, what do they need and who needs it, right? And then I would go through a process. I don't know how I'd do it, but I go through a process to find out a way to supply it, right? So let's say, for example, people need tutoring, for example, right? I think you know a lot about that.
So you're gonna make $10,000 of tutoring?
Not tutoring. Let's not say tutoring. Let's say private coaching, of some sort.
Ooh, so
Of some sort, right?
Okay.
I don't know what I'd private coach. Maybe I have a few dentist friends that would like to coach some aspiring dentist students for some interviews or something. I don't know. That's how I'd go about it.
That's actually such a good idea. Oh my
It
God.
depends. I feel like for students as well, because I feel like if you're desperate, you're paying. If you're desperate, you're paying, right? I have to behave. If you're desperate, you're gonna pay, right? So I feel like it's about who needs the most, what do they need the most, and what's the easiest way for them to get it. And I should be the one that's able to get them the
Do you
easiest
have
way.
any friends with like any rich friends who have Ferraris or Lamborghinis or like big houses?
If I did, I would not be in Formula Student head of business. I would be in Formula One head of.
Because I do, and if I
Is
were,
it?
I know people with big houses and stuff. What's it called, civil engineers who are like doing crazy stuff. I just thought of your thing, and you know those YouTubers who like before you like watch a video, they're just like, I just made $10,000,
It's
and they
so
have
funny.
like a rented Lamborghini and like a massive house. You could have done that. You would have.
That's actually me right now. I'm gonna do it right now. Actually,
You're gonna scam people for.
this is gonna be on YouTube.
Yeah.
Can I? If I make an ad, if I do it, can you post it right at the beginning?
Sure. If you make an ad,
What if I'll do it for like a Honda Civic, and I'll say I made £2 Honda Civic right here, and then like with a suit and tie and everything. I'll do it. I actually do it.
she hates you right now. She's looking at you just like you're just.
She was telling me about like 2 seconds ago. Like I don't want to hear this.
You're an anime fan, right?
Yeah.
And you're a volleyball fan. So I assume you watch Haiku.
Yeah, I watched it recently.
Awesome. So since you like Haiku, you have to choose 4 teammates from that anime to compete with you. Who you choosing?
4 teammates to compete with me, and I'm playing my role, right? Yeah. Oh, this is beautiful. Wait, only 4? But there's 7 players on the roster.
I don't play volleyball. Okay, so fine, 6.
Do you know the characters?
The last time I watched Haiku was when I was in sixth form.
Okay, that's not that long ago. That's okay. I feel like because I play setter, right? So for me, they'd all be hitters. So I think for me, if I was gonna get my 2 left side hitters, my 2 outsides, I'd put what's you know the Oikawa's team, his outside. I like him a lot. I'll take him. I forgot his name. Oh, Iwaizumi, that brother. I'll take that guy. That guy's cold because he's not that tall yet, but he's got heart. He's got soul, right? So he's always there for the morale, right? Who else is there? There's that black guy. There's that black guy on the black team, and he's really cool because he's so nonchalant. Like he's so nonchalant, but he's got swing and he's so cold, and his passing is good. Because for me, I'm short, so I don't want to have to like jump really high to get there. I just want to chill, right?
Okay. So that's 2 people. So you got heart and you got swagger, all right, on your team. All right, what else?
So for the opposite hitter, the right side.
I just realized what I just said. I just said like, I said the black person had swagger. It's just self-hate right here. What's next?
You're just jealous. I'll choose the left-handed guy for opposite. We need 2 middles. I'm gonna choose the main character, Hinata, because he's just the main character. Like he's got aura, he's got plot armor as well. And then I'm gonna choose the guy who turns sideways. You know the one who turns sideways?
I do,
that guy.
yeah.
I want that guy. That guy's cool.
Fair enough. Okay, sick. Okay. Overwatch waifu. Behave. Actually, no, don't even behave. Don't even behave.
I forgot all the Overwatch characters.
I was debating putting this question in. I thought this might be the worst
As in,
one.
like, I'm gonna wife him. Like, that's my wife.
Who?
I can't lie, I saw the diva skin where she's like in the American attire, like the old like 60s American attire. That's wife, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Fair enough. You've heard of Dave Blunt's, right?
Sorry?
Dave Blunt's.
No?
Yes, you have.
Probably.
I can't put down the cup.
Oh, yeah.
I can't put down the cup. You guys know? No? Dang.
It's a banger song.
Okay, so I got 3 songs. Right? You got to choose this one as the soundtrack to your life.
Okay.
Which one's better? Crying in the Kitchen or Can't Put Down the Cup?
listen, I feel like "Can't Put Down the Cup" is more like there's a metaphor in there somewhere. There's something you can take from that song, right? Like, what is the cup? What's in the cup, right? Like, there's something in that song you can take.
There's lean in the cup.
No,
that's not.
He didn't say it. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. I don't know if he did, but he didn't say that. Okay. There's something in the cup. It might be passion. It might be courage. It might be courage, right? There's something in that cup, right? And if you can't put down the cup, there must be something in it that's good.
You know, it's lean.
No, it's not. How do you know? How do you know?
The music video has purple syrup coming out
Listen,
the cup.
do you know purple is a regal color, right? Like it could be.
It connotes mystery.
Mystery. You know, like purple guy from FNAF. Like, yes, I have no idea what I'm saying anymore. You know what I mean, right? There's something in that cup. There's something there that I kind of need in my life, and I might have to take it.
I hope the sponsors don't watch this one. Fair enough. That's sick. 2 more questions. We're gonna be really quick with these. What video game is the biggest red flag for somebody to play consistently? And I'm sorry, I know video games that you play are in here. League of Legends, Genshin Impact, VR chat.
Like VR chat is so like L. It's so L aura. Like, how? Well, like, why are you playing VR chat for? What is VR chat? Why? What you do in there?
It's you just interact with people in VR. Yeah, no. If let's say you on a date with somebody and they were just like, I play League. That's already okay.
How pretty are they?
Huh?
How pretty are they?
Doesn't matter. They play League.
So.
Bro, relax. Relax. What's it called? You're very attracted to this person. They say they play League, they play Genshin Impact, or they play VR chat. Which one's the best word to go with?
Best one to go with.
Yeah. Because you said VR chat's already the worst.
Yeah, I feel like the best. Okay, hear me out. League is the best because listen. Because I play it first of all, so it can't be the worst, right? Second of all, like there's a certain level of intelligence you need to play League, because it's not like an easy game. You just play and like you brain rot. You actually need to think about certain things. You need to like strategize, stuff like that. So I feel like I would vibe with them more. If you're playing Genshin, you just have a spending problem, right? Like you're just like what's gonna happen is we're gonna get married, and then you're gonna take my credit card, and it's over. We're not gonna have a house anymore. You're gonna sell the house for like one gacha card or something. I don't know, bro.
Which celebrity is a red flag to look up to? Drake, Kanye West in the Vultures era, or Brent Faiyaz?
You know that man there's a Drake fan. That guy there. What? You're a Drake fan. Who's the worst? Who's the worst role model?
Who's the worst one? Because they're all
bad. Yeah. Okay, I see. The thing is, right? Yeah, Brent is cold, bro. No,
but you look up to Brent is the issue.
As in like whatever he says, you're like, oh, I agree with it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we have an anti-Semite, and then we have a Brent Faiyaz. I feel like Brent Faiyaz is the least worst. Like, I don't think it's that deep.
Okay, fine. And finally, last question.
I just realized what I said. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm censoring now. Yeah, it's fine. Again, I knew this interview would be the worst one. Okay. You've done this business presentation before, right? Pretend I'm a potential Pretend I'm a potential sponsor, and I'm about to give £1 million to the QMFS team. You got 60 seconds. I'm gonna do a timer. You gotta pitch me the team.
Pitch you the team?
Yes, you're the only person. If you don't, this team loses out on £1 million.
Long day, bro. Long day.
3, 2, 1. Hi. So you want to sponsor QMFS? You want me to sponsor QMFS, right?
Yep. Yes, we do. So QMFS, we're part of Formula Student. We're part of Formula One, where it goes down Formula 1, 2, 3, 4, then Formula Student.
You don't think I already know that?
I didn't say you didn't. It's okay. We'll continue. What we do, we build the car and we sell the car. Okay. And our car right now, because we have no money, it's not doing good, right? These other cars, they have so much money and they're doing well, right? We need your money. It's simple as that.
So why would I sponsor you if you need our money? What do I get?
Money, we've become top 10 in multiple aspects, right? For EV concept, IC concept, all of these, right? If we had money, who knows? We could even be number 1, right, in everything. For like every other like competitor in the league right now.
Why are you stuttering? For head of business, you should be really confident right now.
We're gonna lose the $1 million, guys.
All right, and that's the minute. Okay. Before we go, last question. What do you want to leave behind as head of business in Formula Student?
What do I want to leave behind? I want to get us to at least top 15 this year. I think top 15 this year would be great, and I want to leave the next head of business with the ability to get top 5 or top 10. Because the deputy head right now, she's really good. She's better than last year's head of business, better than this year's head of business, so I think she's going to be crazy. She's going to be really good next year.
Fair enough. And everybody, that is the second episode of QMFS Interviews. Can we give them a round of applause? Her face is just like... what's it called? What's it called? We have again, we always have an Instagram, we have a TikTok. All the social medias will be on, and all the credits of the lovely film people will be on as well. I will see you in the third episode. Take care. Bye-bye.